Going to be looking at the weekly outlook. So the weekly outlook, we are going to be starting from high time frame as we do break down to the low time frames. So if we break down structure, remember this is the Euro USD. So we see this is the level where price has been testing for the whole of many years. So this low tested, then it broke out forcefully, then it came back into the range, then retested it again, then expanded, then it came out, did a force broke out, then it took out all the liquidity below this level. Remember, all the liquidity below taken out. So we saw price expand, then it broke, it shifted, breaking structure to the upside. So you saw simple support and resistance. Remember, support, when resistance is broken, it turns to support, or support broken turn to resistance. That simple analogy of support and resistance. So we see the monthly, this was the range we are looking at. Remember, we look left until we see where price is trying to reach for. So we see that this is the consolidation, the RTO, which led to this expansion to the downside. So pricing is in that range, the RTO range. This is the monthly chart. So if you put our fibs, we see that price is around the 79. You know, see the 79 OTE. So the 79 OTE. So it's a deep retracement. Can we get a retest here? Then this level, remember this is the high price went to, so it created a high and a low high. Okay, so it's structure. This is a shift, so it means price wants to trade lower. Remember, a high and a low high, so that's a signal that price really wants to continue to the downside to this level. Remember, this is the level of support. We want to see price break into this level, come to this level. If this one holds, we expect a buy. If this one holds, we expect a buy. Remember, support and resistance is not in black and white, that this is the actual level we are looking at. So it just gives us a reference. Remember, these are reference points. We look for price. If we see a turn or a shift in this area, then we see a reversal to the upside, or a continuation break lower. Remember, there are two breaks, false and false breakout, and a valid one. So we're expecting for that. So we see this bearish candle which broke structure to the downside. So we are seeing at the retracement in that level. So we are looking for a retracement. So if you go to the weekly, I want to break it down, guys, very fast. So this is the range right now we are looking at. This was an expansion which led to this breakout of structure. See, to the upside. So what are we expecting? Either expect a retest of this level, then a continuation to the upside, or a deep retracement into this level. Remember, the gaps are here. All these are unfilled and unfilled price action. Remember the gaps, those are imbalances we look at. So if we see this is the actual range we are working with, this is the current range we are working with, guys. This is the current range, but according to structure, we see it's a bullish range. We are looking for bullish buys, either at the deep retracement or at the level of support, which was resistance, which can turn up to be support. As we see, this was the low which expanded to the upside. So also this low is very, very vital. If we are to look at price action, this low is also very vital. If you are going forward to look at areas of support where price may turn. So these are the reference points we are looking at. Remember, these are not black and white, that we are expecting a real price movement from these levels. So we mark them, but they are not in black and white, but that's the levels we are looking at. So they are just anticipation. These are always in gray. So we always expect, if price comes to those levels, we expect a turning point, or a breakout, then a continuation to the downside, or a reversal, then we see a shift in structure, then we take the direction. Remember, we just follow. Okay, we just follow, because we are retail traders, so we just follow what the big players are trying to do in the market. So if that's the level of liquidity we are looking at, horizontal lines. So we look at reference points and horizontal lines, the RTOs and the gaps. So those are the areas we always look for to anticipate price see a turning point or see reactions. So those are the price we look at. Remember, we focus on the high time frames for our trades. So this is the weekly high. This is the swing, which gave us a low and a high low. Remember, this is the low and the high low level. So we see price, we are marking out areas where we hope to see if we can get that trade we are looking at. Remember, this is the weekly range. You see the weekly, it's bullish. Remember, we see the weekly is bullish, but the monthly is bearish. So we see that if the monthly is bearish and the weekly is bullish, that's the retracement we are looking at. So when we go to the daily, after marking up our areas, remember we see our areas are really matching up with that structure below. So we see that level, that's the weekly level we looked at. Also, this is the weekly low level we looked at. But if we see this low, this is the swing. Remember, I told you this is the swing. This swing we are looking at right now in price. So we saw price, this is the range of that swing. If we are looking at price, we see price. If we are really critical, we see here price broke out. Remember, this was the swing. Oh, no. So this was the swing. Let's remove this. Okay, we see this was the swing. We see price broke out, then retested, then expanded higher. So will it come back to this level? So we are hunting for that signal. Remember, we are bullish. We are bullish. We are looking for buys. Remember, we buy low and we sell high. So if we are looking at that level, so we see that if we are looking at that level, we see price broke out. This was the swing support. Now it's turning to support. The resistance, as we can see, it was a resistance, then price broke out, then it retested. Okay, it broke out, then it retested. Are we continuing to the upside? So we look at this. Remember, this is the daily. We are looking at, guys, this is the euro. This is the euro USD. Let me see, guys. Sorry, guys. This is the euro USD we are looking at right now. So this is the structure. So this is the high, the monthly high. We see price expanded lower to give us the fractal. Remember, it gave us that fractal. So if we give us that fractal true range, this is the range I'm talking about. So if we expect retracement to the 70%, 79 OTE, and remember that's the deep retracement. Okay, so these are the areas we are looking for to see our turning point. So we remove the fibs. So we see that this is the daily. So if we go to the H4, remember the H4 will give us areas which are not seen on the high time frame, the swing type, to give us the confluence, to confirm that we are really going high. So it's confirmed as we see this is the low, high, low. So if we put this level, we see that this is the level of the H4. These are the levels we are looking at. Price gave us, okay, a low, a lower low, a high low. Then we see price expand. So we expect to see buys in this area. Remember, support, resistance broken, standing to support. Simple support and resistance acknowledge, as we can acknowledge that. So if we go to the H1, that's the 60 minutes time frame. As we see price broke, these are areas where we're looking to buy. If price comes back here, we buy. So we're looking at this level. Strategically, we are looking at price, real price action, no fluff, no nothing. So we look at this level. If we are to see, remember this is the level. This was an expansion, so it may come back, then break this level. So we're looking for a break of this level, then a retest, then continuation to the upside, or a respect, then come back to these areas. Then we see a buy. Remember, we buy low and sell high. So we are buying low. We want to buy at these levels of reference points. Remember, we buy at areas of reference points. if you understand the reference points, then you may understand structure. Remember, we having this was the structure breakout, price broke out, then gave us a retracement. Remember, it broke out, retest, expansion, then it gave us a breakout, then a come back, fractals, 1 2 3 fractals, then we see a bounce, which bounce also broke out the high, then we see price respected the low. Remember, this becomes RTO, so we see the build up, consolidation around this area. So we're expecting expansion, retest, then continuation to the upside. Okay, so that's what we are looking at right now. That's the Euro USD for you. Thanks, guys. Thanks. So let's end up here.